Thank you, Mayor Chow, members of the Executive Committee for listening to us today. And my name is Nas, as mentioned. I'm the president of CUPE Local 79. As you may have seen this morning, we served notice to bargain with the city, and while of course we will not be discussing details of that process today, I would like to reiterate that all the issues that you will hear about from me and from others from the local who are deputing at this meeting are directly tied to the working conditions of our members, the city workers who make our city run, and yes, this does have to do with this particular budget item. As you all know, we represent 30,000 workers at the city in virtually every division. Nearly half of these workers, anywhere between 8,000 and 12,000, depending on the time of year, work in PF&R. Let me share a quick story of one of our city-run community recreation centers, John Innes. It's located at Sherbourne and Shooter in Moss Park. If you were to go for a walk at that intersection, you would note just how bad things in our city have gotten with a decade of critical underfunding. The local TCHC buildings are the worst maintained and most dangerous in the city. The toxic drug crisis has spilled out onto the streets, and some of our unhoused community members are sleeping very rough. While working at John Innes as a youth outreach worker, as I experience and other recreation staff, we're not just running recreation programs. We're also acting as essential community supports, checking in with community members who use these facilities, talking to youth, and sometimes attending to disputes and fights, even overdoses. Now, if on your walk of the neighborhood you were to actually walk into John Innes, you would realize that only one full-time community recreation programmer works there currently. The second person was recently let go, and to the best of our knowledge, we don't know of any replacement. While the division has not officially suggested this, some of our members have been told that budgetary constraints have led to less shifts and less staff across the board. Gapping is a serious problem in PF&R. This is the state of community recreation programming across the city. Looking at the operational variance reports for PF&R, I'm extremely concerned not just about the monetary impact of the projected 13 million shortfall by the end of year, but on how the division is going to move forward to be able to balance their budget. I ask that we do not try to make up the forecasted shortfall on the backs of workers of PF&R who are already precariously employed and overworked. Recruitment and retention issues are broadly present across the City of Toronto, some of which my colleague Fred Shilson has already talked about. In recreation, retention issues are exacerbated by centralized hiring. This model, which does not prioritize community access to jobs in recreation centers in their own neighborhoods, has led to many issues, and workers feel demoralized. Community recreation is also the only division in the City of Toronto that has unionized workers making minimum wage, thanks to the provincial government, which I don't do often. That has now been raised today slightly, still falling well below a living wage. This year, one of the projects we have taken on is extensively surveying our members across the city to get a better understanding of their issues and concerns. I want to leave the committee with a comment from a rec worker that we received anonymously through our survey as a reminder that budgets should not be balanced on the backs of members. This is and I quote, "My coworkers and I talk a lot about this. We all feel that we used to make good money and we were comfortable, but not anymore. The majority of us, ranging in age, living situations, and family responsibilities, are now all struggling to pay bills or walking through the grocery store knowing we can't afford the average things that we used to. Any of the younger staff, and by younger, they're not talking about 14, 15-year-olds, any of the younger staff, mid or late 20s, can't even dream of buying a home in the city, and those with homes in Toronto are moving out of the city due to the rising costs. Our good money is no longer enough to sustain the average life we have had for 5 or more years. We are breaking." Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.